For decades, the Detroit Lions were basement dwellers in the NFL. Year after year, they would come out with some encouraging roster pieces, but never seemed to hold things together with any consistency. However, since the arrival of general manager Brad Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell in 2021, things have been flipped completely upside down. In fact, the Lions boast one of the most talented rosters and one of the most envious balance sheets in the whole league. Top to bottom, this organization is now firepowered to play winning football. Though their offseason has been relatively quiet compared to some of the other teams in the league, the Lions have actually further cemented themselves as a league powerhouse. Holmes and Campbell inherited a team in shambles. For starters, offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, and special teams coordinator Dave Phipp are all returning for a third season. This may not seem like a massive deal, but it is. So often, a well-coached team gets poached by other organizations and offers a piece of their puzzle a larger role elsewhere. Even though the Lions made it all the way to the NFC Championship game, they were able to bring back the whole staff for another go in 2024. This consistency allows the coaches to refine their schemes and build a strong rapport with the players. As Campbell himself noted, this continuity allows them to skip over steps that have already been done and focus on elevating the team to the next level. But the Lions didn't just prioritize bringing back their coaching staff from last season. They also made sure that they cemented themselves as contenders by extending arguably their three most important offensive players to lucrative long-term deals. First and foremost, the team opted to extend starting quarterback Jared Goff to a lucrative 4-year extension worth $212 million and also gave him protection from trade in the deal. Sounds like an awful lot of money. But over the past couple of seasons, Goff has proven he's worth the investment. Goff, a former first overall pick, thrived under Campbell's leadership. He shed the inconsistency that plagued him earlier in his career and emerged as a reliable leader on the field. Actually, reliable might be an understatement when talking about Goff. He isn't flashy, but last season Goff was one of the most effective passers in the entire league. He finished second in the whole league in passing yards and fourth in passing touchdowns. Believe it or not, last year Goff threw for more yardage and touchdowns than superstars like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes did. So it's not surprising that the Lions were willing to pay the guy who's still just 29 years old and is officially in the prime of his career. The Lions didn't stop there. They also locked up their best receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, to a 4-year deal worth $120 million. St. Brown, an undersized but incredibly elusive and reliable pass catcher, is a dude that the Lions stole in the 4th round of the 2021 draft. Since then, he's developed into an all-pro wideout who might be the best corner route runner in the entire league. And now the Lions have the certainty that he'll continue to develop chemistry with Goff as the team chases the Super Bowl until 2028. But believe it or not, it's possible that neither Goff nor St. Brown are the most important part of the Lions' offense. An argument could be made that the real anchor of the offense is a right tackle named Penei Sewell. And guess what? The Lions rewarded Sewell with a 4-year extension too. His worth $112 million. Though it's slightly less than Goff and St. Brown, it actually makes Sewell the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history. The Lions have a dominant offense, which takes talent, but also is largely due to the big men up front moving bodies and creating space for the skill guys to flourish. And no one does that better than Sewell, who's still just 23 years old. With their coaching staff and core coming back, there's no reason to think that the Lions' offense won't be even better next season than they were last season. Brad Holmes, the team's general manager, clearly knows what he's doing. When he traded away T.J. Hockenson in 2022, it seemed like he might be reluctant to pay his stars. Now we realize that clearly wasn't the case. He just wanted to make commitments to his own guys that he did an incredible job drafting. When Campbell and Holmes joined Detroit, they had a short window of time to prepare for the draft. Fans were urging them to select a young quarterback, but instead, these guys stuck with Goff and used their high pick on Sewell while also snagging St. Brown later on. In 2022, they wisely used their highest pick on Aiden Hutchinson, who's now the cornerstone of their defense. And then in 2023, they once again had as strong a draft as anyone. First, they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, a running back. Typically, teams don't use high draft capital on backs, which we discussed in another video you can check out, which we released recently. But this staff isn't afraid to go against the grain and take the guy they want. As of now, Gibbs looks like a solid pick who's already one of the best backs in the league. Then they snagged Brian Branch, who slipped in the draft because of a slower-than-expected 40-yard dash time. Now, only 1 year later, Brian Branch is the star of the team's secondary. And in the second round, they drafted Sam Laporta, who immediately stepped into the league as one of the best players at his position. It's like these guys can do no wrong. And if history's any indication, the Lions should be pleased with what the Lions did again this year. Because if the Lions had one weakness last season, it was their defense against the pass. This was partially because their potent offense forced opponents into passing situations, but it can't be denied that they could have done a lot better to lock down the aerial attack. So to address those issues, the Lions bolstered their defensive backfield through a combination of shrewd free agent signings like veteran cornerback Carlton Davis III and Amik Robertson, as well as high draft picks with the selection of cornerbacks Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw Jr. Terrion Arnold, a 21-year-old first-round pick who played for the Alabama Crimson Tide last season, is definitely a guy fans should be keeping their eyes open for. This drafting and developing approach to team building is not revolutionary in any way, but executing it with the speed and precision that the Lions have done is truly admirable. And one of the largest benefits of this type of team building is that it gives management ample cap flexibility. See, the Lions are constantly finding these young stars making major impacts on cheap rookie contracts instead of overpaying via trade or free agency. And the result of that is a young, improving team that also has the fourth most salary cap space in the league. That type of flexibility to go along with a winning roster is unique and speaks volumes about how responsible the Lions have been in constructing this team. The free cash will allow them to make the moves that they deem necessary to take them over the top without having to dance around the league CBA. While the national spotlight may be focused on teams with star quarterbacks in the AFC, the Lions are quietly building a contender that shouldn't be ignored. For Lions fans who've endured years of hardship, this period of resurgence is particularly sweet. They've supported their team through thick and thin, and it looks like they finally have a franchise with the stability and foundation in place to see long-term success. The team, built around a tough offensive line, is a perfect embodiment of the city of Detroit. They might not be the flashiest team in the league, but the Detroit Lions could very well win the Super Bowl this upcoming season. But we want to know what you guys think. Are the Lions legit? And how impressive has their rebuild been? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with our channel's sports news and insights. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.